It's interesting approach already. Sam is the one playing by himself on the southern side. It's normally the KJ, but here's where the action starts. It's Artis who gets the first kill.
Oh, Crashes doesn't follow up. That does leave. Oh, he's getting the orb. That's a free kill. I thought he was going to let him go all the way. But look at Victor, all the way up too.
Position was never shown, and they're a bit split here because the spike is going to the opposite side of the map. You've got Moser who's going to swing around. He finds the first. That's a spike. He's getting peppered, a little trouble as he's overwhelmed. Swarmed by Sam.
I mean, great crossfire right there. Chaos in the middle of this A site.
Vic is still on B.
Yeah. And remember, he broke that turret, so Alfir is looking for him, struggling to find him, which means Leo's left in a 1v2 on the other side of the map, but NRG's still not committing.
Giving him a little bit of room and a little time to find a bit more damage.
Oh my goodness, Victor's really lost about where Alfir could be too. He thinks he's following him up in tower.
As is Alfir, lost on where NRG are, really.
At least Fnatic is regrouped. NRG's trying to do the same, but they're doing it by clearing more map space, which is a bigger risk, but they're going to have a bigger reward here. This site is going to be free.
Take a quick glance at the health bars. Leo's down to 75 HP. Alfir is healthy.
Dude, the mind games being played on the opening pistol is insane.
We're in for a good time. You hear the fault line go off. Leo spotting the first. Finesse gets one. It's traded back, leaving Alfir alone. 13 HP. In desperate need of a miracle, and he's not going to get one. NRG take the first.
And while that end of the round might look ridiculously complicated, the beginning of it was too. Yep. Right off the bat, you're seeing NRG fake off of an EG strat. They stole this composition from that team, and they're expecting, especially actually we heard from Boaster that he was really watching pistols from other teams while he was waiting to play in playoffs. They fake that they're taking that tower control, but they insert Victor as well. And that baits out the push from Fnatic on this dish side where they're grouped up again here. It's only Artis to receive on the other side of the map, up on that north.
And Fnatic, they're sending all four. They're sending all four down dish. The turret's gonna spot first. There it is, cleared out. Does Artis dare swing? He does. It's just temporary though. And now he's the one who's surrounded because Alfir's here to greet.
Yeah, well that kill might net them the north side and a whole kill. None of the weapons retrieved there. Obviously, Artis just had a ghost. NRG still with 3 Bulldogs up, the Stinger as well. They're going to have a free A site with the pivot that they've made. Fnatic with 3 players coming down from the south side, though. I'm looking to see if Sam, who's up close, can find the information or hear the information about what's coming in spawn.
Here's a Bulldog. Victor does too. He's going to be the first to take contact. In the fault line, he drops a nade, tucks away. And you mentioned Sam, surely he heard that. Knows where Boaster is. Just jumps out to his death.
Yeah, big gamble from Boaster there. Couldn't really do many things to clear all the angles that Sam could be in.
Like butter, baby.
Now the rest of this information is known. Very, very nice anti-eco after what could have been dangerous, but could have NRG to keep Artis alone with only the ghost. Losing weapons, this is not good. Goes from clean to very, very poor. Should be able to recover one more. No, Finesse. Where's that Bulldog? He's not going to get it.
No.
Oh,
just a Stinger.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He ran all the way up halls. Nothing laid on the ground for him. And that goes to show how quick these situations can change. That was a clean anti-eco. And then all of a sudden, you lose 2 of your biggest rifles.
I mean, you see the repercussions of it. The Stinger and the Bulldog still just the sheriff for some.
Not quite a canceled bonus, but almost there.
Artis taking ropes and joining up with the rest of NRG on the southern side. No early push.
And the spike is heading all the way back under past Arcade to clear the space that Artis had to leave. That's part of the protocols there for NRG. But look at the setup from Fnatic and Halls. How advanced is Alpha here setup? Got the turret to swing off this off angle, got the stun as well, hiding from the drone now. Leo does a great job canceling. They can fall back into that setup. But now look at NRG's reaction off of that. Beating out the stun, breaking that drone. That's enough information for them not to want to play with it, and seeing Leo as well to be the guy.
They have some defenses here. Victor getting up top. And you see Fnatic have given some of the space up. They're going to try to play back, play safe towards spawn wisely. While the rest of Fnatic is rotating on the southern side, Crashies will be the first to take contact.
It's a good nade. No, it hits the stairs.
Just a little short. Not enough oomph behind that one. Crashies on the swing. He's dead. Remember, Sam just has a Sheriff here. He has ult, though. But the rest of the members are crumbling. They're falling all over the place. This looks like an unwinnable situation for NRG.
Last player standing.
And it's just Artist. Manages to take one with him. A second follows. 45 HP. Dropping the nano on the spike. Had to swing and take a fight. And it's just too much.
Put some damage into that 1v5 opportunity. Just not quite enough. All his teammates fell before that Som. Had to push in because of the tree pressure that was coming in into Canteen. But is not confident enough to go enough. All his teammates fell before. With Artist staying alive up in tower there. But like I said, not a completely canceled bonus, so it's not the worst outcome here for NRG. They still have this as an opportunity. And this right now is a key round. With this ult, NRG want to be able to win, but Boaster has his as well. Fnatic is one of those teams that is so good at farming up these orbs, no matter which side they're on. Normally it's super attack side of these orbs in general, but it's a key point. Even funneling specific kills to Fnatic.
Yeah.
To the players that are close. Alfir one off of his as well. And they've got this trap play. Usually it's a aftershock into a breach ult.
From the turret contact or, yeah, something like that.
Aftershock pushes them out into a space that they can get trapped in really, really easily. NRG taking the rope. All the way back, they've again put Victor up in drop. On pistol round, he lurked. He was the guy who was going on the opposite side. See this trap. This should be known from NRG if they're prepared. They should just fall off of the Aftershock space, but I don't think it looks like they will.
Launching smoke.
Aftershock. That's the other one.
Yeah, it's Finesse's. Chronicle still has his.
He backed off, way off because of Victor. Applying some pressure.
30 seconds left.
Vixel has a satchel here. If they want to commit to this Pulse Crunch, they can, but there's no one there. You hear the Rolling Thunder, and that's going to push them up and over.
Oh, Alfir, he's stuck.
There's nowhere for him to go. The Molly intends to delay for just a moment. But with 13 seconds left, they've got to get a move on. And Boaster still has the tool that can secure the round.
He's got his ult.
Art is dead.
round
And
is
there
over.
it is, yeah. Unless they can frag out. It's Shassam Leo 1v1, but there's not enough time. They're not going to get the fight.
What a battle of ults. And NRG did a good job concealing the fact that they were getting that breach ult late in the round, inside of halls as well. But you could see people scratching their heads right now because everybody understood that with 20 seconds was not enough time to make that play. Yes, they meld Alfir, put him in the microwave. With the breach stun in combination with it too.
Spike down.
But not considering Boaster's ult late in the round too, and he goes in a position where he can't even bait it out. That's a big mistake there from NRG, and it will force them to save now.
Tied it to a piece. The only rifle in the hands of the attacking side is in Psalms. And for Fnatic, they have much more to work with. Chronicle, the only exception, as he has a stinger. Shock Dart intended to clear some utility from the KJ, and that alarm bot's still up.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that that Shock Dart was super prepared or anything like that. He just kind of threw it out willy-nilly. Crashes is definitely the GOAT at improvising shocks, but we'll see how that continues to play out throughout this series. And they're so interested in just using util and dry peeking. Not placing their smokes, not committing to any of this fight. And that would cause them problems in the last round.
Remember, Sam is the only one with a rifle and was not able to convert on the opening engagement.
Pivots back and forth. Finesse really trying to heat up and think about how Boaster's calling is going to be. We're already only in round 5.
30 seconds left.
We're seeing the indecision.
They're going to make their way through.
It's a good plan.
They just don't have tools.
Well, they got Crash's ult with that plant, with this lockdown too, in underpass. Boaster, remember, he used his ult last round.
Artist has his, Crashy so too. This would be a massive steal if they could pull this off.
Look how deep that lockdown is too. It's not in the regular space. Because it's used for post plant, they have to fall all the way to the other half of the map.
And fall right back in with the stimmy from Boaster.
And look how far Crashes is playing too. Finesse on the alert, that's not gonna find anything, but Artist has mollies, Crashes has ult. This looks like a one round.
It's just insane to consider too, given what they came into the round with. But what a conversion.
I'm starting to doubt whether that little hesitation while walking back towards halls is indecision at all. Whether there's some sort of information that I'm missing. Because that was a brilliant call. Coming back into A. Remember, they started poking that baited out a smoke, that baited out some of the util from Fnatic. It's not like they put too much out, but then they pop through with these smokes, and it's free sights. And you noticed actually on the pistol and the anti-eco, Fnatic has been playing off-site on this A side. And remember, the KJ is constantly playing, sorry, on the B side is what I mentioned that last round. The KJ is constantly playing on the other side, the A. Always has his util over there.
NRG managed to steal the round, and they still have the Hunter Fury that they can use into this one. And again, aggression towards Dish. Prowler in the faces. Victor goes forward with the satchel in hand. He's sent to the next round.
A deep push as well, forcing these players to commit to this Dish push. Some has to find both.
Not able to, but so close. And Finesse tries to swing around and apply some pressure from the opposite side, but what a beautiful call from Fnatic. Dude, I feel like these two rounds, barring a 1v4 from Artist, which he's certainly capable of, but these last two rounds, 48 HP now, he's dead. These last two rounds are a perfect like textbook indication of why people were so excited for this matchup.
Oh, absolutely.
The calling between Finesse and Boaster already has been insane.
Strategically, it's been every single round. There's been some very, very five-head outplays attempted. And even in the mid-round too, Finesse and the other player coming through halls with him try to dive and punish that attack that Fnatic provided on the north side. It's really, really nice stuff. Not necessarily cutting edge or anything like that, but just incredibly deep prep. I'm looking forward to the rest of this game so hard. And again there, Fnatic recognizing that NRG is often going for these 1-4 defaults where they're committing to taking map control, especially when they go Dish. And they're leaving the other side of that half of the map open. In that case, nobody in Arcade allows for that breach ult, which, if there was anybody, is getting ulted while the rest of the players can't even help because they're getting crunched through Dish. I mean, you compare it to some of the very basic Northside crunches, and you can tell the delay alone is enough to not make that work most of the time. You have to be really, really aware of how the underpass and tree control might affect it. You have to be really confident that NRG is doing what they're doing to make that call.
And to have a read like that this early is just outrageously impressive. On the other side of this timeout called by NRG, we're tied at 3 apiece. So light buy for the attacking side, but still 2 ults to their name, while the defense has the same. Dirk is already pushed off in the face of the fault line. They want to go aggressive with the showstopper, but he doesn't get as far.
Yeah, but it does force them to run away from the showstopper. And again, there's prep there. You saw as soon as Dirk goes out, as soon as they get a stun, there's a counter stun out from Finesse.
Spam out from Durka, gets a kill onto the leader.
And Dirk in the last round, they min-maxed his orb while there was only one player up. That means he has a showstopper now.
Traded, Victor still healthy. Stays alive, I'm not really sure how.
Close battle, 2 players ready to swing through the smoke.
Remember, this is another weird buy. It's 2 stingers on the side of NRG, and they're converting again. Artist getting one with the frenzy. Oh. I mean, what a proper dismantling.
And Fnatic is being forced to push through A halls multiple times with players who are needed on the retake through Generator, through Canteen. Alfir and Leo in this position both have ults that would have been perfect to be used in Gen. So I'm surprised out of that timeout. You saw a little bit of aggression attempted. Maybe that's why they continue to have that setup over towards Halls for those two players, specifically for the Sentinel.
Now
the KJ of Alpha here. But you can see how easy it is for them to start maintaining this push here. And they're collecting the guns as well. Remember when I mentioned that they could push through that smoke? Those are two players with only frenzies. And the seconds light by win for NRG now.
right there.
Crashes, by the way, in that first one, we thought he was a big key point of why they might win that, but he hasn't used his ult yet.
The one real opportunity he had, they secured the round before it was fired off. Artist on the reposition, feeling pressure on the northern side, and it's going to be another hit towards B. This time, Chronicle finding gorgeous timing, and Durka does too. It's back and forth again! There's just no backing down from either of these sides.
Over and over, too. This is not heroics from any one player to watch, anything like that. This is pure prep from the coaches, Minnie and Chet, and pure calling out of Boaster and Finesse right now. Every round comes with a definitive edge strat-wise, tactics-wise. I actually thought NRG was going to get the better of them right there because Fnatic was going for an insert of Durka in underpass, and that left him isolated. You saw the initial push came with no fighting. You see Victor deep on site.
One enemy remaining.
But they're recovering in time, and Durka as well, able to join Chronicle at the perfect moment. Those two guys together. That's why this is a super team. When moments like that, it's only two players holding the site. They're holding it dry util. The site's already lost. Here comes a clash in Arcade, though.
Plenty of ults here. Durka's the first to go. And they're just going to continue to push. I mean, Crashy's taken out. He takes him with him, somehow survives.
He's jiggle peeking while stunned there.
And this back and forth affair leaves things in a 1v2. Crashy's in a clutch. We've seen the story before, but this time it's a different ending. Fnatic take the lead.
And now it's starting to get brawly. Now it's starting to have the impact of minor calls made out of, you know, Durka, something like that. Chronicle happy to take fights after what was a momentum swinging round for them. And they just duel straight up. Then the util from Chronicle is great. And you're forced to see NRG with very, very minimal armor here. They like to go full armor, by the way. That's not just them committing to that. Again, this push.
It's going to be another clash. Durka is the op. And he's already met the first.
Oh, they saw Boaster.
A counter flash to try to swing. It is pretty. It's very well handled. Very well done.
He gets the dink, too, and now they need to even consider Durka's op. Where has it moved to?
Hasn't rattled off since that opening shot onto Victor.
Should have been spotted by that drone.
Artist's timing is perfect. He finds space again. Now Durka's down to 3v3. Saw him with ult. Crashy's 2. And Alfir and Leo have been holding on to theirs for a while as well. There's the first used.
Should be Brim ulting this or Sova ulting this. Artist will counter ult. There's a gap here. They're not going for either. They're going to try to allow this to push them all the way back. Remember that second half. We saw this KJ ult before. Same value here. There could be a follow-up ult on either side from Crashes or Som, but they hold on to them to play post.
4 HP. Orbital strike teed up.
Leo on the flank. Could take down Crashes.
No idea. And there goes that, leaving Som alone. And there's way too much to handle there.
Surprise Nano, too. In that moment where that lockdown goes down, the detail that Leo goes for is to flank through Dish. He's actually re-clearing to make sure that they're not running back towards that A side. And if not for that, Crashies is in a position to use his ult. They're not getting those kills.
We take the look at the opener one more time from Durka. Seems like that was forever ago, but that was actually in this round. And you're right, the timing and the space that Leo was able to find there and secured the round, really.
Yeah, he went on like a neon sprint line across the north side. Beautiful stuff out of Leo. It's Fnatic's timeout. And I think they still want to try to lean into some of these early engagements that Dirk has been doing very well at, that Chronicle's been doing very well at assisting, whether it's finding extra kills with a flash or a stun, or being able to help his players get out of that situation. It's been a key factor right now to this lead, but it's narrow margins for Fnatic. And don't forget, that's a round win just coming right before this. They want to close out this half with 2 more. And economically, they're set to get at least 1. There's no saving here for the rest of the half for Fnatic. Meanwhile, NRG is still looking for scraps. Still waiting for this ult from Crashes to come through. We have another one of those combination Brim ult, Breach ults that you saw early in the half be used on that A site to melt Alfear out of existence. And we are going for that dish control that we saw before that got punished by a north side push out of Fnatic.
They really haven't explored A a ton.
They've moved this op onto A though. Remember, it was just seen last round, multiple rounds in a row in Arcade.
Holding the line. Waiting for the first.
Did they hear the door? I think they were right there at the beginning. But if they didn't, they don't know that this is open. They don't know this is an angle for Durka.
He's in a lot of trouble. Oh, but he's going to satchel his way out. But Victor's gone in right behind him. What? Crashes got 2 with the ult. What an explosive start to the round.
Literally, both teams combining crucial ults together. And they get multiple kills because of that. That leaves this round completely in the hands of the 2 players from Fnatic right now coming through spawn late in the round.
This would be a difficult task. You're outnumbered here in a meaningful way. There is plenty of money to go around though. So you figure you take a chance, you go for it. And it's meticulous. Alpha, you're creeping forward. The Han on the other side of smoke cleared out, not finding any value. Leo goes up top and somehow just destroys Crashies. They've gotten it back to it, but Victor shuts the door.
No time for that situation. They're just trying to get the guns down from NRG. What a round that was. Crashes ult
standing ahead
from Dish, by the way. So he's already in the perfect elevation for these 2 players, either coming from spawn or up on top of that rope. It's beautiful. You see the Breach ult coming through, pushing these players off of sand, and then also the Brim ult coming on top of where he's getting tags with that ult.
And as we saw in the round, Victor following up as Zerka was trying to satchel out and get to safety. He's just hot to trot right on his tail, right back into the action.
And Fnatic's not the team that's supposed to be getting comboed with ults. That's Fnatic's bread and butter. Here comes the push for them, using the same type of theory to push Durka deep here.
Oh, Crashes got him! I thought he saw him! Victor with the second, Leo dancing around, somehow avoiding death and finding a second. A 3v3 as the dust settles and Sam gets a spike down.
And Boaster's going for that same push that Leo did late in the round. Both the turret and alarm bot might be up, and they've taken gen control right now. So it's not going to have the same sort of impact.
Boaster rotating from the northern side last round of the half. And much like we've
past
seen
the turret, but won't get past the alarm bot here.
Cleared out.
Still a molly for Sam here.
An idea of where he is. You see Victor trying to go up top, and Sam gets a kill, and there it is. Rewarded for the advantage in height. Sam gets 2, and we're tied at 6.
Remember, Fnatic was the one who called the timeout after one of their round wins to get to 6 in the first place. You thought a major win condition here was to get those last 2 rounds. Instead, NRG get both.
This was insane because you even see it on the screen. Durka was looking and then turned away.
He just doubted that there was ever going to be somebody there.
Yeah.
down you go.
So you see him checking the corner, but you saw no confidence in the fact that there could be a possibility.
A 6-6 half in this opening map, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We'll throw it back down to the desk to break down the first half.
Thank you so much, fellas. I'll tell you one thing, TikTok analysts are going to have a field day with that one. Am I right, people? What a half, 6-6 tied up. But really, Kukuka, it felt like just what these players have been cooking up, the set pieces with these ultimates have been nothing short of extraordinary.
Time after time, all the ultimates used in the game were so specific, so well prepared. We saw it from the first round, in this round 4, then after, it doesn't matter what it is. There was so much preparation coming onto this and onto those set plays that made the difference into the game for both of the teams.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt tailor-made in some of these rounds, bespoke to kind of target an individual. One thing I will credit though, NRG started this so cautiously, and I thought they were going to execute this composition almost how you feel it should be played, right? They were feeling out the Fnatic trap plays very efficiently, but then Fnatic, they cast the advantage in terms of the adjustment. This was absolutely beautiful, by the way. The pathing here on the Hunter's Fury to actually catch both, and it's Durka that gets pinged by the recon bolt. He satchels away, and then there's 3 teammates that just tank all of these ultimates in the choke point.
Chronicle is dodging the Hunter's Fury. He gets the Orbiter strike. He's like, man, I'm dead. I don't know what to, but I'm dead. But the adaptation was also coming into play. Like, we saw Fnatic not being aggressive at the beginning, and then until they didn't have that Rolling Thunder, they wanted to take a little bit more space, but also NRG reads onto that, and they're like, okay, let's just run onto them. They're not going to be opposing. 2 rounds after, things change. I think it also has to do with the composition.
Well, again, just take this with a pinch of salt, but I think actually coming out here 6-6, NRG with that 1 execute away from an 8-4 half, so this is a huge win for them.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But this is truly the gift that keeps on giving, and we knew it was going to happen this way as well. We're going to send it back over to Doug and Ball, and I'm officially jealous that you get to commentate this game.
Amen.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you're here to enjoy it with us, though, because it has been a gift. We saw so many minor instances at the very first half that were just fun.
Dude, I'm jealous of myself. I feel like I'm in an out-of-body experience right now. Watching these 2 teams. Good breakdowns on the ult usage. And that's going to continue. I mean, they're just swapping halves, but you know that sort of prep is exactly what's coming in the second half, too.
Fault line there, and look, they're pinching. They're all heading towards the northern side or Fnatic.
I mean, Durka's counting his lucky stars that he doesn't get hit by that stun by Finesse. Otherwise, he's dead to that nade for sure. 5 players here from Fnatic. Look at the re-clear going on right now. The dart from Crashies. But this is... While they're going to find nothing in halls, they might find everybody on site behind them.
Utility dumped out onto the site, and the space is filled. NRG happy to give the site up, so they're going to fight for a retake.
Spike planted.
First shock dart through a smoke is the only thing keeping them apart from each other. Leo's pushed his way into it. He's behind him, and he gets both. Chronicle with the 3rd. Victor with just a shred of health. But can Artist snatch this thing back?
It's much more aggressive than you're normally used to with Leo.
Now, oh! Artist! How is he snatched this thing back? It's fallen down to 1. Victor weak! Alphier with the kills, and the Red Bull clutch for Fnatic.
This is what it's like to witness these 2 teams play. Yeah, we've gotten all the strats, we've gotten the tactics. That's first half. Now we're in playoff mode. Playmaking mode from both artists.
1 enemy remaining.
And then Alphier as well to bring this back.
Enemy
That's a
remaining.
dink. Full HP on Artist too against the Sheriff from long range. In that instance, Victor being low definitely hurts. His chances, Alphier. What a clutch. We've already seen instances of light by the rounds winning. Here's the classic from Fnatic. Funneling ult orbs towards key players here. Boaster buys the Marshal specifically to leave a gap in that Gen smoke.
That does not, yep.
Oh, he got the Bulldog.
Was able to get it, yeah. Still maintains control of tower. NRG are slowly but surely on the prowl. Victor's taking the ropes, and Leo's going to be there to receive, and surely he's heard that at this point. Victor with no idea.
That's just crazy wild that Leo is in that position still.
Just so unexpected, leaving Finesse all on his own.
And Boaster should be hunting now. Already gotten 2 kills in this round, 2 off his ult. Chronicle planted. Maybe because they made this slightly uncomfortable Fnatic. You don't go for the full farm. There he goes, creeping Canteen, just like we called. The stun is perfect for him too. Finesse knows he's hunting. He knows.
Timing, though, well handled by Finesse. Just out of reach. Leo cleans him up. Fnatic take a 2-round lead. You're right, it was a little uncomfortable there, but they secure the round.
And they eventually fall back into the, the win conditions of some of those anti-ecos, which is for them not just winning the round, getting Boaster's ult up in the bonus is key. He actually didn't even really need the kill on Finesse, by the way. He's still 1 off ult.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, that's a great job by Finesse, but instead, no, it actually doesn't matter at all, that engagement. As long as Boaster dies, as long as he buys, okay. All right, let's see where he goes to get this orb right now. Alfear's gonna hold the turret out. Finesse and Victor are looking to trap. On this map, Fnatic is known for going for bonus ults. And you could use that to your advantage here if you're Fnatic. You could just completely ignore that possibility. It's hard to do so when it's such a powerful tool, and yeah, now Victor knows. And they should be considering.
There's the orb that you were just mentioning, now Orbital Strike online, and the question is, where do Fnatic go off of this?
Isn't it ridiculous that NRG was already trying to play anti-orb on the perfect choice? There's 4 orbs on this map. They could have guessed any other one of them. And either way, it doesn't matter because Fnatic is just patient enough to wait for their setup to fizzle out.
You see the pings on the minimap. The intentions are clear. They want to go towards B, perhaps through tower. And they've quietly made their way over. First the Prowler, then the Flash. Space not filled yet. They want to go down low. But Dirk is met with a nano. He's going to try to satchel across it, and he does.
That's a good haunt. It cleared the entirety of the site right now. They just have to avoid Crash's dart, and then they'll get this plant down with 24 seconds.
I mean, they're so close to
Oh, it's tagged up!
all separating them, and Psalm's the first to fall. Now Dirk is satcheling back out. Alfear holding a line on the other side. It's a 1-for-1. But the numbers for NRG continue to crumble. It's just Finesse left alone in the 1v4. He's not able to get away. It's another round for Fnatic.
And the mind games begin again, by the way. No ult used from Boaster there. In fact, he never had intentions. He's the guy who planted. Maybe used as a failsafe using the post plant, but NRG was prepared and playing offsite specifically to avoid getting caught in positions where he'll get ulted. That's the moment where I lost my mind. Crashes' dart does end up scanning Boaster. Maybe it's a drone that first hits. And that's a bonus converter from Fnatic right now. It started at a tie up half. Oh, Brim won't possible if the C's catches. Doesn't catch anybody. But there was 3 players possible.
And off of the pace that Fnatic are showing, NRG is going to try to fill with some of their own on the southern side. But they've got to be able to hold them back for now. On the site, in the sand, Durka drawing all over the place and getting the kills that he needs. It's another dominant round for Fnatic, but an opportunity, albeit slight, to make something out of this. Finesse has found himself in these positions so many times, and the outcome's the same.
Tough game from the IGL, but you know his mental right now is being stressed.
Yeah.
How can you prepare for all the possibilities from Fnatic on this map? Right there, you already saw NRG again backing off of that C's. In some instances, you have to just start to ignore some of those possibilities and bring the fight towards them. Test their deeper protocols. Fnatic, though, getting away with winning the bonus and converting that anti-eco without using any of these ults. And I think right now the comfort for NRG is looking, while pressing tab right now, looking at their own ult cycle. It's about to come up, and that will be a factor for them on this defense. The funny part is Crashes. I thought that was going to be such a big part of this defensive side for NRG because they stole this comp from EG, so I'm looking at what EG does in this instance. But he's so far away from being involved in that conversation of how to combo. This will become the swingiest of all swing rounds right now. What a game so far.
You see the ults that you're just referring to on your screen now. 4 members away from having their ult online, just by 1 pip.
This is crazy. This is the first time these two teams have played each other, and it feels like they've played each other like a million times. It feels like they're scrim partners with the amount of anti-stratting that is going on. It's ridiculous.
Revealing area. Deploying
There's a
drone.
dart setup. Nothing found.
It does get Finesse's ult online. That's the entire intention right now.
That's also so nicely done by Crashies at the opening of the round. A dart on the northern side, the drone on the southern side, and all of a sudden you can turn attention towards A.
Now the problem is they're trying to deny some sort of space for these orbs that Fnatic is picking up right now. Dirk has now got his ult. Finesse is going to have to try to counter with his own. Oh!
Another instance in which Dirk is not able to get it off. The orbital strike, Artist down low, falling. Side still held as Som finally gets cleared. Now the Nightfall Finesse, unable to hear a thing, but still trying to find one through the spam. A 3v3 for the site, no ults in play yet. The Shock Dart gets one. It's Victor who's close to his though. Alfier is to Chronicle on the swing. Crashy's dead. Paul's controlled, site controlled, and Chronicle's just kind of doing it on his own. Finally falls to the nade.
Showstopper, they're up close right now.
He still has 2 satchels. And the Roomba. There's the first. Trying to get across, spotting one. Guessing on the second. Not behind that door. Swinging, not found. Fnatic get another.
And Boast are starting to have some fun with the crowd too, the audience here. NRG have not won a defensive round there, and I honestly think that they did a decent job countering out the ideas from Fnatic here. The Showstopper gets canceled because Finesse is ulting at the same time with his breach ult, which they collected early in that round. That's the moment where you're stunned up and naded in the corner while getting the spike down. My goodness.
5 rounds in a row for the attack. Insane considering how the first half went.
Fnatic now have free reign. Boaster is brimstone opping. It's back, baby. It's back.
Wow. On attack, no less. And he finds value. Of course he does. Showstopper from Victor. Not hitting its mark.
We were having conversations about Kong Kong being the best attack side out. Boaster should be out of that conversation. Why? Because he's the only person to do this sort of thing. Just reminds me when he pulled it out in overtime back in Copenhagen.
Another one for Boaster. They swing into him. Saw him on the trade.
Finally the punish.
Off your feet.
That Rolling Thunder is very aggressive from Chronicle. They're in spawn.
Oh, there's a line here for Alfier to follow up, and Psalms full stunned.
He's gotten 3. He's had himself a map. He may be the only bright spot on this side for NRG, but he has played well with the position, the potential to get more.
Dude, they aware of Chronicle's route here.
Oh, they have to be now. This would be backbreaking. Finesse cleans him up. Woo!
A response finally just in time before match point is possible here from Fnatic. I thought it was Boaster's op that was going to put them there. He's doing it again, guys. I'm looking right now at the spend. He's doing it again. I mean, he got 2 kills, might as well. And NRG is so focused on trying to deny some of these ult orbs early. They're peeking them.
Let's make some chaos.
I mean, it's a pretty decently considered idea. What a 1-2 punch as well. Dirk is just following really, really close by afterwards. If he needs to satchel on somebody with Chronicle stun or anything like that, he can.
They can be so decisive in their engagements. And then have Boaster again with the op right behind them.
I'm looking at the lockdown to be a potential way to take this site, but no, I think Boaster just wants to ISO up. And they're finally taking an underpass control so Alfier can creep forward, and that's going to take some time, so still not sure if that is the entire intention.
The thing is, if they overwhelm Artis up in tower, or up on site, all of that utility that he has currently protecting Som in the site is gone. But they're gonna go. And it's all just a delay. The orbital strike is gonna get Boaster out. Durko's going aggressive. There it is. There were questions around whether or not Artis would be overwhelmed, but he's able to keep them back for the first. Traded on the second. A 4v4 quickly turns into a 4v3, perhaps 2. There's just no real way for NRG to hold them back. It's been so labored.
What?
He's gonna get the kill.
I can't believe it. At least getting that tag. 10 seconds for the plant right now. Nothing left. Still.
Wait, Chronicle is. That could have secured the round. I believe it did. I don't think there's enough time. There's not.
Why are they in the open there? Looked away for a second and Crashes finds the angle. The amount of pressure that guy puts on whenever he ults is crazy. Chronicle thought for sure
One enemy remaining.
that he was safe. After that first pulse went out, he stopped planting the spike, moves away. Second pulse doesn't come forever. It misses, and third pulse still hits him somehow, where he doesn't have information for about 10 seconds. That's ridiculous. NRG needed a streak. That's 2 in a row right now. Their first 2.
Artis has the op. But there's no challenge towards B, where he's currently sitting.
Yeah, but he's getting droned on the angle. That's going to hold a lot of space right now. But yeah, you're it definitely could be a factor here, but also look at this double play up through drop 2. Afier's going to be able to place his right now. I think he's waiting for their own lockdown, so NRG might not just place it. They might just play against it.
There it is. There's the attacker one. Still held on to by Artis.
Maybe they go for a sand one. No, it gets broken by a nade.
And Chronicle goes down. And now they put theirs through. Victor's already satcheled out onto A.
And it's planted in such a way, the lockdown in this case, that it's so deep right now. Dirk is just trying to get this nade off. It might actually count. Oh!
Som got it all the way! He just held the defuse!
I don't think that nade landed.
We gotta see that again because it looked like it was lined up well.
And also, how did they break that lockdown? I guess just coming through. Fnatic, for the first time, doesn't consider that as a possibility. Just coming through drop, just banks it off the wall. That nade is the best. The paint shells from Raze is the best util at breaking lockdowns.
It is insane that we're having rounds come down to nades. Like a single piece of utility
It's
deciding
crazy.
things.
Over and over, these two teams battling in a different plane of existence. They're battling between the two minds in the center of the stage. It's crazy. And I'm really starting to consider just the theory about Boaster opping in general, right? That was the second round in a row he attempts it. And the funny part is maybe there's value into it because if you're getting a lot of kills with the op, you're getting so many ult orbs up. Maybe not being able to close out rounds though. He's already had 2 this half. I mean, he doesn't look entirely happy with the situation. I think maybe even just a little bit of trolling going on.
All right,
There's
so
that nade.
Yeah, we take a look at the first nade that cleared the lockdown and gets a kill on Chronicle. Oh, he was spanned up too, just not able to get out.
Well, that's right there. That's Victor. You saw him spam that little angle.
Yeah.
The place where he might run away from. That is beautiful stuff from Victor. Gets the tag, slows him down, and eventually the frag.
Back in the swing of things. Artis still with the op, and he's already being pushed. Are they just going to continue to brute force their way into him? Off of the Prowler, they realize he's not holding halls anymore. They're going to simmy their way into sand. Artis is in trouble. He's not in a position to be able to get out. He's got to hold him back by himself. He gets the first. Looking to provide some resistance, and that's all it was.
Just lost his place right there while flashed up.
Orbital strike straight into spawn there. Excuse me, Rolling Thunder. They push them back. And they've left Boaster in a cheeky position. It may not matter though, as the rest of the team is getting the kills. It's Chronicle and Alfie are leaving Crashies alone. A 1v3. Some utility, but not much.
It's tough to use here.
He's got the dart, he's got the shock, and he has no health. Fnatic get to map point.
Has to try to approach silently, can't use any util. His position not known yet. But it doesn't allow him to break up those crossfires. He's just hoping that there's a gap, a timing window where he can walk into it. Very, very nicely done from Fnatic.
One enemy
The
remaining.
breach ult to maintain all this control of sand while the plant continues to go through, while they take down Artis. Artis could have gotten a second op shot off, but that flash delayed him for so long and he lost his position and exposed himself to the players pushing sand.
No up this time for the Killjoy. It's just rifles for the defensive side as they try to make their last stand. I mean, they're funneling, they're pushing, there's no crunch. It's all just a fight from one side! And it's turned in favor of Fnatic.
This might be the end here. NRG, they go for that drone, re-clear. But you had such a deep satchel from Victor. Nobody's able to follow up on it, and the rest of the Fnatic players just group up. This might be it. 3 players for NRG, 4 from Fnatic. Fnatic's so cautious. This grouping here of Som and Crashies might be perfect, though.
It was Durka who had the off a moment ago, just handed it off to Chronicle.
Wants to use his satchel to take space.
The one benefit for the defensive side here for NRG is that 2 of the 3 members that remain are on this site.
Oh, Crashies is tucked here. Leo does have his Haunt, a Prowler too. They can clear it out.
Sam is a Molly.
30 seconds left.
Crashies with some util. Are they gonna rotate? Oh, they're gonna go in through sand. They just don't have a ton of time here.
And the Molly should be able to hold them off too. From one side at least.
Assuming they identify where it is. Leo has been left behind. Crashies falls. All onto Sam, again, who's had himself a great game, but he can't convert here either.
Seconds left.
It's just perfect from Fnatic, mauling out the last player on the site too, finding Crashies on the swing. They both got stunned by that breach stun from Chronicle. It's perfect.
It really is. It's a little, I mean, it's not even like they're just trying to diff them with gunfights. Everything is so fastidiously considered. And it's clean. The first half was a brawl, but the second half felt like all Fnatic all the way, and they take Fracture 13-9.
Absolutely it was. Only 3 rounds from NRG on that side. Can't be happy about that one. And once they got to defensive side, Fnatic is just, they go with those ults. They're the best at it. They control the cycle of NRG. Yeah, it lost 3 rounds in a row from NRG, but those are the only ones. And once that cycle disappeared, once it fizzled out, Fnatic just come straight back to end this game. Bonus conversions. I mean, everything was there from Fnatic. And all of a sudden, a weight lifted from them because yeah, sure, when they were talking to you coming into the arena today, it doesn't feel like they really thought this was any sort of different of a game, but we know, I mean, we know the situation. This is the first time they played